Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Thursday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I'm Aina Kweyo, and in the news tonight, Oshana Governor Elia Irimari talks about the importance of water during a NEM water stakeholder engagement event that is currently taking place in Ondangwa. The stakeholders are engaging on the multi-million Ondangwa Omtsegonime pipeline project. Kenya Kambowe reports.
Others, living creatures within, they must also be taken care of. If winter is no more coming, water has become less, and land is transforming differently, and threat of animals, especially from Etosha National Park, as a result, there's no water. It's also one of the interventions which need to be looked at. Since we have waters in the underground or wherever around, an initiative needs to be done to look at sourcing water to Etosha National Park. This program made possible through the generous financial support of the government of the Republic of Namibia and the African Development Bank, which underscore our collaborative effort required to tackle such a monumental challenge. Today's discussions mark the beginning of a project that will not only replace an aging pipeline, but also pave the way to enhance water securities and strength to our communities. The Ondangwa-Mtsegonime pipeline is more than just an infrastructure project. It's a lifeline that will bring hope, health, and prosperity to countless families and individuals. I remember it was a few weeks ago, a presentation was done in Oshakati on this intended Ondangwa-Mtsegonime water pipeline, and also others I do not want to mention, but I have to mention it. The Mdaungiwa water, project that, this story of whereby you see people with donkeys and people goes to wells, might be something of the past, in some part, more especially in the northern part of the region, more in particular to the other regions and neighboring regions, where it is so commonly, during this time, whereby, there is a transhuman of water from one settlement to another settlement, and people, travel long distances. And these are all good efforts by NAM Water.
In our next story, Development Workshop Namibia has thus far reached roughly 13,000 households as part of its mass communication campaign on sanitation, which aims to reach 25,000 households by August. The mass communication campaign is part of DWN's efforts to prevent the spread of informal settlements and improve the lives of dwellers. It has thus far reached 13,671 households across 8 towns, including Karibeb, Katima Mulilo, Ondangwa, Onipa, Oshakati, Ochuarongo, Swakopmund, and Windhoek. Launched on the 24th of May this year, the mass communication campaign aims to reach 25,000 households by the end of August. It is spearheaded by DWN's community outreach workers who go house to house nationwide to talk about water and sanitation. Community-led National Sanitation Program Coordinator Shea Timo Gottlieb said DWN is a Namibian non-governmental organization working to address issues related to rapid informal urbanization, including land and housing, sanitation, and solid waste, as well as early childhood development. National Sanitation Program Coordinator Shea Timo Gottlieb said DWN is a Namibian non-governmental organization that is working to address related to rapid informal urbanization, including land and housing, sanitation, and solid waste, as well as early childhood development. The United Nations Children Fund Progress on Household Drinking Water, Sanitation and Hygiene report last year revealed that Namibia has one of the world's worst open defecation rates, estimated at 57%. It noted that this is a particular challenge in urban informal areas where unsafely managed fecal matters contaminate the environment and lead to sickness, especially among children. Moving over to our next story, during the 2024 Land Conference held in Henties Bay, Carl Schleitwein, the Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, highlighted the critical importance of water and sanitation services for urban development in Namibia, emphasizing the government's responsibility to ensure the provision of essential bulk services to communities. Currently, Namibia relies on a strong network regarding groundwater from the Omaruru Delta and Koiseb Delta, as well as the desalination water from the Orano Desalination Plant to meet water demands across the country. The minister articulated these three sources are fully integrated by a complex network of pump stations, pipelines and reservoirs, ensuring a resilient and secure supply of water to our customers. However, the minister also pointed out the challenges faced due to increasing demands. The ambitious development plan, as well as those of Walvis Bay and Swakopmund, increased mining activities and industrial demands, as well as agriculture and food production, have increased the projected demand beyond what the sources can deliver. We have reached the ceiling of sustainable supply from these three resources, which currently stands at just shy of 30 million cubic meters per year, the minister explained, stressing the need for immediate expansion to cater to escalating demands for urban expansion, industrial growth, and agricultural activities. In response to these challenges, approval has been granted for the construction of a second desalination plant, the minister announced, with an estimated capacity of 20 million cubic meters. Construction is set to commence in January 2025, aiming for completion by early 2027. And after the break, we return with our story of the day. Please do stay with us. In our story of the day tonight, a request for tariff hikes by the Northern Regional Electricity Distributor and the City of Windhoek has been rejecting owing to non-compliance to submit annual reports by NORAD for 2022 financial year and lack of clarity regarding rig fencing of the City of Windhoek Electricity Department. Electricity Control Board Technical Manager Petrus Johannes explained, and this report is by Kenya Kambowe.
The second distribution licensee is City of Windhoek that applied for 10.4%, and the approval granted is 7.9%. The two licensees must comply with the following condition before the approved tariff can be released to them by the ECB. In case of NORAD must submit the audited up-to-date financial statement for the 2022 financial year. And in the case of City of Windhoek, they must submit an updated progress report on the ring fencing of their electricity departments. Those are the two reasons why their schedules of approved tariffs are being withheld by the regulator.
When we return from this short commercial break, we will definitely bring you our community talk.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
In our community talk tonight, this morning at the Chief Forum meeting with the representatives of the Nama and Ovaherero people, the Vice President of Namibia, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, warned the Nama and the Ovaherero genocide victim descendants to carefully consider their reparations demands. She highlighted that the geopolitical developments could affect the outcome, suggesting they might either miss out or face prolonged negotiations if they are not considerate. Chamaima Biekes reports.
Political environment that is not making our negotiation with Germany easy at this point in time. The conflict between Russia and the Ukraine and what is happening in Palestine is not helping our ongoing negotiation. I'm sure we are seeing the current genocide being committed by Israel against the people of Palestine in Gaza. But the international community is watching like hopelessly while these people continue to suffer the genocide. Therefore, the ongoing genocide against Palestine should clearly show us the inefficiency and the serious shortcomings within the international community and their various institutions to deal with issues of this nature. Against this background, if we are begging our hopes on external organization for a genocide that was committed more than 120 years ago in Africa by one of the current economic power in the world, namely Germany in this case, might not be helpful, particularly in this highly polarized international political order. It's therefore important for us to pay attention and appreciate what has been achieved thus far from this negotiation and indicate where improvement should be made if necessary, unless we would really want to prolong this issue indefinitely. One was really expecting that the international community would immediately come to the aid of the Palestine, but it's just a statement and no real action is being taken, and it's so sad. But the whole peace-loving community agree what is happening in Gaza is a genocide. Your Royal Highness, yes, the consensus reached so far is not perfect, nor does it meet all the expectations of the affected communities and the Namibian citizens in general. Given the impact of the 1904-1908 genocides, however, we might all agree that in any negotiation, the principle of give and take does play a role. The government of Namibia takes it that the amount, though not enough, we might have made Germany to agree. We have now made Germany to agree to commit itself to revisit and renegotiate this amount as an implementation.
After the break, we return with our economic news.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
In economic news tonight, the Financial Intelligence Center, empowered by the Financial Intelligence Act, directed the freezing of 28 bank accounts totaling $33.1 million Namibian dollars during the 2023-2024 review period. This marks a significant increase from the previous year, where 25 accounts with a combined value of $15.4 million Namibian dollars were restricted, reflecting a 105% rise. The FIA authorizes the FIC to instruct banks or any entity to freeze accounts suspected of holding proceedings of crimes for up to 18 working days. This period allows the FIC to conduct thorough investigations into suspicious transactions and coordinate with law enforcement agencies to secure the funds. The collaboration between the FIC and the LEAs has been instrumental in these successful interventions. Meanwhile, achieved an unqualified audit opinion, with reserves increasing by 128% to $44.3 million Namibian dollars from $19.3 million Namibian dollars in the previous financial year. Total assets nearly doubled, showing a 93% year-on-year increase. For the period, FIC conducted 49 on-site and 20 off-site compliance assessments, disseminated 357 intelligence reports, and intervened in 34 bank accounts, contributing $31.1 million to capital tax raised. And now let's have a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades for 23 Namibian dollars 28 cents to 1 British pound, 19 Namibian dollars 74 cents to 1 euro, 18 Namibian dollars 45 cents to 1 US dollars, and 2 Namibian dollars 54 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. Three commodities have increased, that is gold with 0.16%, copper 0.26%, Brent crude oil 0.94%, while platinum has dropped with 1.38%. And after the break, we come back with our international news, where we focus on China's Communist Party. In our lead international news story tonight, China's Communist Party on Thursday expelled former Defense Minister Li Shangfu and his predecessor Wei Fenghe for serious violation of discipline, a euphemism of corruption, state news agency Yinhua reported. Li was suspected of receiving huge sums of money in bribes as well as bribing others, and an investigation found he did not fulfill political responsibility and sought personal benefits for himself and others, the report said, citing the Communist Party Central Committees which ordered the investigation. As a senior leading cadre of the party and the army, Li Shangfu betrayed his original mission, betrayed the trust of the Central Committee and Central Military Commission, and caused great damage to the party cause and national defense, the report said. Reuters exclusively reported last year that Li was under investigation for suspected corruption in military procurement. He was mysteriously ousted as defense minister without explanation last October after disappearing for 2 months. This is the first time China is explicitly confirming that Li was under investigation, as well as details of the nature of his crimes. China's military has undergone a sweeping anti-corruption purge since last year, with 11 PLA generals and a handful aerospace defense industry executives removed from the national legislative body to date. And now let's have a look at the weather predictions for tomorrow. Katima, Mulilo and Rundu can expect a minimum of 9 degrees. Windhoek and Gobabis can expect a minimum of 8 degrees, while Tsumeb can expect 12 degrees. Henties Bay can expect a maximum of 28 degrees, while Marienthal can expect a maximum of 23 degrees. That includes Aranos and Cape Manshwab, while Oranjemund can expect a maximum of 30 degrees. And after the break, we take a look at what is happening on our sports desk, courtesy of Sports Rep.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with T20 Cricket World Cup for men in West Indies. Good news for South Africa is that they through to the final, their first final ever. The previous 7 attempts in the semi-finals, they haven't made the final, but this time they beat Afghanistan by 9 wickets quite comprehensively in the semi-final, and it's South Africa that will play on Saturday in the final. It will be either against England or India. What happened in the game against Afghanistan was that Afghanistan won the toss, decided to bat first on a very difficult wicket and bowled out for just 56 runs. It was Marco Jansen that took 3 wickets for 16 runs in 3 overs, and also Tabez Shamsi that took also 3 wickets for 6 runs in just 1.5 overs. South Africa batted down the runs. They made 60 for the loss of just 1 wicket. It was Reza Hendricks with 29 and Aiden Markram 23. They were the mainstay for the South Africans in the semi-final. The final will be played in Barbados. More international cricket is women's cricket. It is New Zealand and England that play a 3-game series and is also 50-over international. It was England that won the first game against New Zealand. That was at Chester Street by 9 wickets, and New Zealand batting first 156 all out, and it was England that scored 157 for the loss of only 1 wicket. It was Tammy Beaumont that scored 76 unbeaten runs. The second ODI will be played on Sunday. On to soccer news. It's Euro 2024 that continues. It is a round of 16 that will continue this coming weekend, and it is games that was completed was Georgia that beat Portugal by 2-0. Quite a big surprise for Georgia. With that win, they through to the round of 16. A difficult game waiting for them on Sunday. They will play against Spain. Portugal also through to the next round, or the round of 16. They will play against Slovenia. Not a good result for Belgium in Group E. They drew with Ukraine. It was not all, well, it was a good result for Belgium in that they already through to the round of 16, but Ukraine, because of the result, out of the round of 16, and Belgium will play on Monday a tough game against France. Two games on Saturday to look out for. It is Switzerland that play against Italy, and then also the host Germany that will play against Denmark. And to close off today's international sports news, it is tennis news. It is grass court tennis leading up to Wimbledon that will start on Monday. It is the Eastbourne Championship on the WTA. It is the Eastbourne International. It's the women's side of world tennis. And two players from Britain that's doing well. It is Emma Raducanu that beat the number 2 seed Jessica Pegula of the USA by 4-6, 7-6 and 7-5. That is in the round of 16. And also Katie Bilter, she beat Yelena Ostapenko, the 5th seed. She beat her by 6-4 and 7-5. Also through to the next round is Madison Keys. She's from United States. She's the 4th seed, and she beat Alina Kalinina. She beat her by 7-6 and 6-1. That's the Eastbourne Tennis Championship played on grass. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of tonight's broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook and on all NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, which is called oneup2.com. This has been Sunset News. Please don't end your day without us. Good night.